time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone, bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back to Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got co-host Bryant Falconer in the studio. What's going on, bud?
Hey, man, I'm doing good.
Sweet, dude. So let's jump on it. What are we smoking?
Oh, I'm smoking at, what did you give me?
Are you serious?
Yes, what did you give me?
I gave you the Laranja.
Laranja.
From Espinosa.
I couldn't say that word.
Good.
That's why I asked you to say it.
And I'm shocked that I can.
Yeah.
I've finally gotten that one. Laranja.
Good. Thank you. You saved me
2
on
years
that.
later, I got it.
You saved
But
me on that.
yeah,
one.
that's a great stick.
It is, man.
You know,
It
Big
is.
Tony in the house a few months ago, he turned us on.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
I really hadn't tried Espinosa
Nope.
until Tony, and now it's one of my go-tos.
Most definitely.
I'm a big
man.
fan. They do quality construction. It's a powerhouse. When you're in the mood for a good powerhouse, that's a stick to go
Definitely, man. He knows. They know what they're doing, and he's a great sponsor for him. He is. He got me on that. It was the Laranja. I just couldn't say the name. I'm glad I heard you say it because I'd have butchered that. But I was like, man, this is a good stick. And then when you popped it out today, I was like, look at him. He's trying to show out again. Look at him.
What
He's
do you
trying to show
mean?
out again.
And I gave it to you.
Nothing.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't.
Did I miss something?
Nope. We're gonna leave it alone.
All right. Hey, so I'm smoking the Perdomo ESV Sungrown.
Another good one.
Dude, I am digging these ESVs. I've heard of these for a long time, but I never had the opportunity to smoke them. And when we were up at In Fuegos, they had them, so I picked some up. Dude, it's been really nice.
Yes.
So it's very smooth. I mean, you know, Perdomo's always good, but this stick takes it up a notch.
Yeah, and a couple of notches.
Well,
to be
yeah, a
truthful
couple of
about it.
notches. But anyway, really good stick. So, and tell everybody what we're drinking. You're drinking tea.
Yes. Now I had a shot of that Booker's earlier. Though.
That Booker's,
dude.
it lets you know it's there.
Yeah. On the back
It's got
end.
some spice to it. It's 126 proof. You know
It
what?
surprised me how smooth it was, though. You looked at me like, what? I'm like, dude,
I
this
was
is
surprised
smooth.
because I don't think it's, you know what? I'm comparing it to like the rare breed.
Oh, well,
And
yeah, there would be a difference.
That's only 116 proof, but I think it's way smoother.
Yeah.
So I was a little shocked by the Bookers, but don't think that I'm not going to work on it.
I got you, bro.
So-
Say it's one of them that's going to sit and mellow for a while.
Right. And I'm drinking the Old Forester 1910.
Old Forester.
Pairs very nice. You know, the thing about this pairing is with this ESV, it's not a heavy duty stick. And this Forester 1910, I believe it's 96 proof. It's smooth. And so together, man, they knock it out of the park.
That's what you want in a pairing. You want them both to accentuate each other.
So everybody knows Micallef is our sponsor. Tell everybody why they're our sponsor.
They produce a quality stick. No matter which one you try, it's a quality stick. They talk to, I mean, not just talk, but they work with their community.
Oh, dude, they built
work
a
with,
community.
Yes, they work with the brick and mortars. They are about this stick. They're about communities, the environment, everything. It doesn't just end within what their line. It's about the consumers. It's about the brick and mortars. It's about the environment, the community. They touch every part of it.
Absolutely.
And it's a blessing because they saw something in us that truthfully we didn't see in the beginning ourselves. And they've been with us. They've been taking that walk with us for almost forever.
And you know, the cool thing about it is before we started the show, I didn't know about Micallef. Never heard of them. And we were just, you know, at the time looking for people that would be willing to do an interview with us, and they were happy to do it.
Yes.
And then I started smoking their cigars, and I was like,
Where has this been?
this is something special.
Where's this been all
And
my
then
life?
it was like, you know what? We want these guys as our sponsor.
yes.
Because when you like a cigar that much, it makes it easy to talk about it.
yes.
Because I don't even, I don't just talk about Micallef when I'm on the show.
Me neither.
It's a conversation when I'm talking to other cigar smokers.
It's about taking them to people that don't know, like you said, because people don't know. Everybody doesn't know about Micallef,
right?
And those that listen to the show or listen to the radio show, they get that sprinkling of it. But the more you're out in the community, the more you with people and they see you smoking, and then you can explain, okay, yes, this, and the stick that I'm smoking, like you with the medallion, you can give them the profile, you can give them what it does for you, how it tastes to you, because you love that stick.
Let me give you the analogy I have of Micallef.
Go ahead.
So back a year ago, well, a little bit further than a year ago, Micallef was like the sound of a splash.
Okay.
Now it's the sound of a huge group marching. It's growing.
It's growing daily.
And it's the result of an amazing team that Al Micallef has put together.
Oh, most definitely, man.
I mean, because he has the quality cigars, which that's where you got to start.
That's a no-brainer.
But the way they have innovated, the way they have built a community, the way they give the brick and mortars an opportunity to not just survive during COVID, but actually thrive.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they have, like, if you don't hear Micallef marching, dude, you're not listening.
No, you're
because they are, I mean, to me, they're blowing away the cigar industry.
It's with everything they do. You go from the Facebook community, as being a part of it, you see how it grows daily. The more and more people that are part of it, the way that they interact with it. You know, it's not the cookie cutter. Okay, yeah, that's nice. No, I mean, Dan is having conversations with people in there.
Dude, I get emails all the time. I got one this week, and guy was like, "Hey, man, I live in Springtown. Do you know where I can get Micallef's?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's a new shop in Weatherford, and there's the Silverleaf. I don't know if the Silverleaf is open, but I know the guys over at Weatherford carry Micallef." And he messaged me back and was like, "Yeah, they had Micallef."
See?
And I was like, "That's the community
Yep.
that they have built."
It's the relationship.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, if you haven't become an ambassador, go by our website. There's a link almost on every page,
Yes, sir.
and you can just click on the link, go over there, give them a little bit of information. They send you your own medallion coin with your own personal number. $2.98, baby. I am $2.98. I'm not listening to you. $2.98. $165. I don't really care for that number.
I know, because it's lower than yours.
Anyway, you'll get your own coin.
You don't like $2.97.
I don't.
I know.
$2.98 sounds better.
Yeah, and you get happy. $2.99. Oh, you're nobody.
So anyway, guys, go by the website, click on the link, become an ambassador, and become part of that community. Because that's one of the great things. Like Bill White was on the Herf last night. Dude, great part of the Micallef ambassador community. I mean, he's just a guy that he has loyalty when he sees good products.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
So anyway, guys, let's talk about, well, before we go into the pick six, we're going to let you know James Brown from the Black Label Trading Company Cigars is going to be on the show here a little bit later.
Great interview, man.
And yeah, dude, very interesting. I don't want to give away anything, but very interesting guy.
Yeah.
I would not your typical cigar manufacturer. Very interesting. So
They'll be surprised.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to the pick six.
Most definitely.
You got yours ready?
Oh, most definitely. Always.
You know what? I'm going to say this. You have impressed me with your level of preparation for the show the last few weeks.
Hey, you lead by example. I just need somebody to follow. Needless to say, there's the
when
finger.
He's pointing, he wants you to swap the camera. See, that's the way that works, son.
Needless to say. But my number one is the Espinosa Murcielago. As you call it, the Batman cigar.
That was a good stick, huh?
Yes.
I enjoyed that, man.
I went and got me a couple of more of my number two.
What'd you get?
Aladino Corojo Reservas.
Oh, yeah. Great sticks.
It'll be a whole show.
I had one of those yesterday.
I did too. I had two yesterday.
You know what? I had 2 also yesterday. But here's the thing. The first one was plugged.
What?
Yeah, it was. I was shocked, but it's the first time I've ever got Aladino plugged in any of the blends.
As you say, here
but
comes that superstitious stuff.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna say that it didn't happen, because it happened.
It happened.
And it does happen. It's a handmade product. Yeah. So I smoked just a little bit of the first one. I was like, no, I'm not even messing with it. Tossed it out, grabbed another one, and it was perfect.
Okay. My number 3 is the Hoya Nicaragua Cuatro Cinco.
Good stick,
yes,
dude. Good stick. Those were a surprise.
Yes. But I have a dunce for this week.
You have a what?
A dunce for this week.
Okay.
It's this surprise cigar that you gave me.
Oh.
The fake one.
The dog rocket.
Yeah. That you dressed up to look like the prom queen.
Oh, dude. I was like, so you guys don't know, last week I gave Bryant a couple of sticks. I gave him the Espinosa, and I also gave him one of the anniversary Fuentes. It's like $42.
No, he gave me the band of a Fuente.
Yeah. The actual cigar came from underneath my seat.
And I can believe it, too. Man, that thing was acidic and rough, and now it didn't make it 6 blocks.
Wow.
And it was...
I was wondering if you would notice.
Now, it may be a possum out there smoking it.
Hey, I was wondering if you would notice.
Dude, I noticed.
And then you said it first off. You were like, he actually brought in a picture and was like, tell me what this cigar is. Because it's not a Fuente.
No.
So that was funny.
Near. No.
That was funny.
I'm done.
All right.
I'm done. On you.
All right. So the first one, I don't think that you even know that I've been smoking these. It's the Rojas Habano.
No.
Doesn't have a band. It's fantastic. Morning, noon, or night. It's got that medium Habano flavor profile where you can really enjoy it anytime.
Got you.
And I've been enjoying them. Dude, in fact, I talked to the Rojas family the other day. I'm going to try to get them on the show. They're out of Texas as well.
Most definitely, man.
And it's, when I say boutique, I mean the husband and wife are rolling cigars.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
awesome
about.
right there.
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning of an empire.
And they're making great smokes.
Yeah.
So my number 2 this week is the CAO Amazon Basin.
Yo, yes.
Boom.
You know me and the Amazon
Drop the
basis.
mic.
Yes, sir.
Dude.
Done.
And you know,
the show is over.
I was
Podcast done.
Yeah. I was talking to Roman yesterday, and he picked some of those up. And we were talking about, those are going away.
Oh, I got to load up then.
Yeah, you do.
I got to load up.
In fact, sometime in August, I believe they're done.
Well, it's August now, so you put a fear in my heart. I got to grab them.
You got to get after it.
Yes, sir.
All right. And the final cigar.
Talk to me.
And this one makes the list kind of often.
Okay.
Viva La Vida Torpedo.
Okay. All right.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about the Viva La Vida. Yesterday, my best friend comes into town, Tim Rickman, and I opened up the humidor, and I just said, whatever you want. What do you want?
He doesn't do that to me.
True. So anyway, he doesn't look in the humidor.
He just grabs.
No. He says, do you have any Viva La Vida? And I said, I do. And he said, I've never smoked one before, but you guys are always talking about it. I'd like to try it. And I was like, all right. I give it to him, and he says, I hope that's not your last one. And I say, it is.
You gave your last Viva La Vida?
You know what? If someone's never had it before,
I'm with you.
Like if you wanted it, no way, no way. Yeah,
like,
you've
go get
had
your
one.
own. Go get your own.
You've been down that road.
It used to be this commercial on BET. No, my brother, you got to get your own.
Right? Yeah, not happening. So anyway, though, it was funny because he lit it up, and probably 25, 30 minutes in, he was like, this is a really good cigar.
Yes, it is.
And I was like, dude, you're getting it now.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Yeah, the reason why. Now you understand.
Right.
Yes.
And so you know what I did?
What?
I picked up the phone, I called Billy, and I told him that scenario.
Yes.
Just to let him know that people are excited
about that product.
Right.
About that product. And that's what I love about this community. Like you said, he gave his last to somebody who didn't have one before, and then what happened afterwards.
Boom.
What happened afterwards.
Right.
That's the beauty of it.
And especially on a newer cigar smoker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
To take that leap into the next level and it to start with a Viva La Vida.
Now you see the contrast of this, right? His friend that's been apart, he gave a dog rocket. You,
The Viva La Vida.
he blessed you.
Hey, now, just so everybody knows, I've blessed you a lot.
Yeah, but that dog rocket just took you all the way back. The scales have tilted.
I'm back to zero.
Zero, bro. Man, that thing was, that was horrendous.
I wish I could have been there.
No, you didn't.
I do.
The language. Chunked it out. I talked about that till I got home. I was like, what the hell was this?
And that band was pretty.
It was. I thought I got blessed, and then I was like,
I got duped.
yeah. Bless me, the devil. Yes.
Hey,
talking about Rob. Yes.
No, not Nick. Not Nick.
Not Nick. The devil.
Dude, have you seen his pictures?
Dude.
Everyone's like, dude, cracks me up.
It's a blessing, man. That's what I love about this community. Bro.
Oh, dude,
Love
there's
it.
so many good people in this community.
Love it.
It's just like being on the Herf last night. And, dude, I got to apologize to everyone on the Herf last night.
Wow.
Because it was getting kind of late for me. I had been up all day, no nap. And so at like 11:20, I was like, yeah, I'm tired.
Checking
I got to
out.
get out.
Yeah.
And so instead of leaving, I was on my phone instead of my computer.
Uh-huh.
So I can't see the phone very good. I just hit the red button. And instead of leaving, I ended it.
It cut everybody off.
Yes. So then when
I'm done. None of you all.
Right.
Like that bad kid took his ball. Y'all don't want me to play. I'm taking my ball.
So the bad thing is, though, I watched a movie and then went to bed.
Uh-huh.
And then when I got up this morning, when I got on Discord,
Talked about you.
yeah, wow.
So that's how it is, Rob?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
how it is?
Tim was like, wow, I think you pissed off some people. So, guys, I really apologize. I didn't mean that to happen, but
Our viewership just went through the tank. Why? Rob. No nap.
No nap.
No nap, Rob.
right? You don't want that.
No.
You don't want that. So anyway, guys, we've got, after the interview coming up, we have the Moose Mountain Goods giveaway.
Moose Mountain.
You can get your coffee ground or you can get it in beans.
Yes, sir.
Did you get your beans ground?
No, sir.
Should have brought it back over here.
No, it'd been next year I got them ground.
No, I would have grounded it
Yeah.
and drank it.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I wasn't going to give it away.
Yeah, see.
So anyway, we've got James Brown coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Hey guys, thanks for hanging through the break. We have a special guest with us today. We do have James Brown, the owner of Black Label Trading Company Cigars. How you doing today, James?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show. Been a fan of your cigar line for a really long time, and just talking to you just for a few minutes, I can tell I'm already interested in the transformation of where you started to where you are now. But let's back up. How long have you actually been in the cigar industry?
In the cigar industry for a little over 7 years.
Wow. So are you just blown away with how successful and how much the brand has exploded?
It's definitely good. I mean, it was a long, hard road to get there. So
Yeah. So, I mean, you came out with some really nice cigars, great marketing, and I mean, you guys have really hit it out of the park. So how did you decide that you wanted to get into the cigar manufacturing? I mean, that's a big jump depending on what field you come from. But I mean, pretty much, unless you're from that area, it seems like a big jump to actually get into the factory side of it.
yeah, I mean, we started out and we knew that we wanted to do something completely different. And my wife and I had already been living in Latin America. So we were in Guatemala at the time and we're spending a lot of time in Nicaragua. And so I had already kind of gotten to know a lot of people in Esteli and got to know other factories. and spent a lot of time learning about tobacco, learning about manufacturing. And so, for us, we kind of approach the industry different than most people. I fell in love with cigar making. I had no experience whatsoever on the U.S. side of things as far as working in a cigar shop. I didn't know anybody, didn't own brands. I didn't know any cigar reps or anything like
Wow.
that. So we really just started from the opposite end, from the passion and the desire to make cigars and be in Nicaragua and do that entire process.
So how was that? I mean, starting out from square one, I mean, that's a big education to take on.
It definitely is. I mean, I spent with our previous business, which was a travel company that was based in Central America. We included a lot of factory tours and things in SLE. And so for a few years before we decided to start the brands, I had already been working with some tobaccos and playing with ideas with people that I knew there, and had started rolling and making cigars for our travel company for the clientele on the trips to smoke. And everybody really fell in love with the product and wanted to know how they could get it once the trip was over. So that kind of planted the seed for the idea to possibly do a brand. We've been around for 7 years. I've been working with tobacco and making cigars closer to about 11 years.
Okay. And so, I don't know exactly the scale of the Black Label Trading Company cigar sales, but I mean, I find you guys in different parts of Texas when I travel, and I always load up, but unfortunately they're not here locally. So one of the things I got to introduce you to my local cigar shop owner, because he just moved to a new shop and he's got a big humidor that he's going to have room to bring in some new brands, and we'd love to have you here in Abilene.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But so are you guys, I mean, you guys are considered a boutique cigar company. And I mean, are you in the entire United States, or are you more in Texas, or are you just kind of scattered out everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the entire United States. I would say in terms of brand sizes, we're probably a, medium-sized brand. We're still definitely in that, for lack of a better term, boutique category. But we have, a team of sales reps all throughout the United States. We're in retailers all across the U.S. We're also in Europe and Germany. We've definitely grown quite a bit in the last few years.
Yeah, I think the first place I found you guys was over at a shop in McGregor, Texas, Tobacco Junction.
Yeah, TJ's.
Yeah, great shop. And I had seen your cigars before, but I hadn't had the opportunity to try one, and they had a good selection of them there. Great little shop there, too. Out of the way, it's just kind of like in this little town. So if you get a chance to go over there, it's definitely worth a drive. So how long have you been in Nicaragua now, James?
Going on 6 years.
Oh, wow. So how is that as far as, I mean, you were in Austin, Texas, and now you're permanent residents at Nicaragua?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not that big of a stretch. My wife and I, we haven't lived in the U.S. for almost 18 years. So,
oh, wow.
We've kind of lived all over. We've spent, I guess, about close to 11 years in Latin America in different places. So Nicaragua wasn't a big, drastic change for us. It wasn't like we were coming straight from the U.S. to Nicaragua. But we absolutely love it. I mean, Nicaragua is a very unique and very special place. The people here are awesome. And, to be able to work with what we consider the greatest tobacco in the world, I mean, Nicaragua is the place to do that. So it's awesome for us.
So being right there where the best soil is, the best crops are, I mean, what's it like to be able to go down to the factory and roll up a cigar and smoke it?
I think that, like I said before, I mean, that's really what is the greatest thing about what we do, is to be able to walk into the factory, and you're making your own product. And to be able to experiment and do new things and unique ideas and bring things to life, that to me is just the best part of it, and I think that's the coolest thing, is to be able to come through and see your tobacco and your products. And it's pretty awesome.
Well, I got a comment on the wall behind you, James. You have I'm going to guess 100 pair of shoes behind you.
Yeah.
Is that a collection time, or is that something that you collect, or you don't just wear all those shoes all the time?
It's a mix. I mean, I'm definitely a collector. So sneakers are kind of my other passion outside of tobacco.
Nice. And how long you been collecting sneakers?
Seriously collecting for just a little over 2.5 years.
Wow.
But I was always a huge fan of sneakers ever since I remember my first pair of Jordans, when I was 9 years old. So, it's kind of been this ongoing thing, since then, but I haven't really, been able to get fully into it until the last few years.
You got to do a package of cigars in a box that looks like a shoe.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want
any lawsuits though.
True. You got to be careful these days.
Yeah.
So with the COVID going on, how's that affected you guys? What's it been like down in Nicaragua with the COVID?
Yeah, it's definitely affected us. It's definitely impacted our business. Down here specifically, Esteli is a very busy, very populated city. And so they were having, their fair share of issues for a while. And so we ended up having to close the factory on 2 different occasions, just to kind of wait it out a little bit, let things settle down. And so we just reopened, I think 2 weeks ago from our second closure. So, we're just taking precautions, doing what we need to do. And thankfully, although the airport is still closed, there's no international travel right now in Nicaragua. At least cargo is still going. So for the most part, we're able to kind of run business as usual right now.
Okay. And I don't know where we'll be next year because of COVID, but do you plan on doing the TPE or the IPCPR? I guess it's the PCA now, if that happens next year.
Yeah, definitely. I was super bummed that, things that happened that ended up with PCA not happening this year. As far as we know right now, they're still going ahead with TPE, and, hopefully things are settled down by that time. And, we're looking forward to being there. And I love being able to do those types of trade shows because it gives me the opportunity to see a lot of retailers that I don't normally get to see throughout the year, especially with me being in Nicaragua most of the time. I do travel and do events and things like that, but I can't get out to see everybody. So those shows are always nice to reconnect with a lot of different people.
Sure. And I would imagine a lot of times you get to meet some new faces. And you guys have a unique product line. I got to say, man, I love the artwork that is on your cigar bands. It really stands out. It's really different from all the other that I see. So who's responsible for the artwork?
I do all the artwork.
Oh, you do it yourself?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Very nice. Now, do you have a background in art?
I do, yeah. I was in art school all through childhood. Went into the Art Institute in Dallas. I have a degree in art, and I worked as an artist for quite a few years. And so it was kind of cool with the cigar industry because it was a little bit challenging because I had to take everything that I knew as an artist and transition it into a digital format, to be able to do all of the box logos and labels and things like that. So it's been a really fun process.
Yeah,
to be creative with that.
That's really cool that you get to do your artwork on your boxes and your cigar bands, and anyone who's seen your cigars know that they stand out and they're different. So do you have a lot of different meanings with different bands, or is it just some artwork that you put together for a cigar?
No, it usually comes from somewhere. I think that, we treat cigar making as very much an artistic process, from start to finish. And when it comes to the branding as well, that falls into that category also, and I believe that every cigar tells a story. And so we kind of use the artwork and the design to kind of convey that sort of story / attitude that we kind of get from the cigar.
I got you. And so, in your line, what would you say your go-to cigar is? Is it hard for you to pick a go-to? Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a brand, we've transitioned a lot over the years. When we first started, kind of my focus and our customer base were all about the bigger, bolder, stronger Nicaraguan blends. Whereas, we've added a lot of additions to the lines with, the porcelain Connecticut and the Killer Bee Connecticut and cigars like the Serpent and the Rainbow, the Sumatra. So we've kind of really diversified things. So I would say, 5 years ago, I was definitely more towards the bigger, bolder stuff, whereas now I'm kind of all over the place. I would say my one cigar that is kind of near and dear to me would be the Last Rites, because it was the first cigar that I blended on my own. And it was the cigar that I blended kind of to exactly what I wanted at that time out of a Nicaraguan cigar. So that one is definitely always going to be a standout for me.
And as a blender, I mean, when you're smoking your cigars, are you always analyzing each different cigar that you've created and thinking about what you'll come out with next? I mean, is that always in the back of your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I am always, I like to be busy when it comes to cigars. Like, I've got a million ideas and I always want to be, kind of working on something. So I love to, get whatever the next limited release is finished, before it's ready to ship. That's really predominantly what I'm smoking the most of, just kind of check it and see where it's at in terms of aging. And then once that's done, then I get excited about moving on to the next one and getting something kind of unique going.
Well, you said something about limited releases. How does the new FDA ruling on predicates affect coming out with limited runs?
How you do it? I mean, so for us, like our limited releases, we started doing those back in 2014. So we have quite a few of them. But what we do is, we never do a cigar that's a one and done.
Oh, okay.
So our limited stuff comes out annually. So relatively the same time of year, each year, we have it kind of come back. So it's a little bit different than just a new kind of flash in the pan, one and done cigar.
I got you.
So that's kind of what we do with our stuff.
So when you do a limited release like that and you do it every year, does it maintain the consistency, or are you doing something where it might be completely different depending on the year, the weather, and the harvest?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of try to let tobacco speak for itself.
See, I like that idea.
Although the blend is the same, proportions are going to be relatively the same, but the tobacco is always different, and I think that's a really cool thing and a unique thing with our products is you can take several vintages of a particular cigar and pick up kind of the subtle nuances and differences between the different releases.
Yeah, because most of the time I always see, a cigar manufacturer striving to keep that cigar exactly the same year after year. But I kind of think that's a really unique idea is here's the cigar, here's the blend. We do it this way every year, but because the tobacco is its own entity, it may be a little bit different or it may be a lot different. And so, when you look at wine, there's, some of those great years. And if you're always striving just to be consistent, you might miss out on that great year. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. Yeah. We treat it exactly the same way. And our limited releases are because, most of them will include a very particular type of tobacco that is, difficult for us to get. We don't get big quantities of it. And so not only does the flavor profiles change a little bit, but also the production numbers. So, I mean, we only make whatever we can make. So if one year we make 500 boxes or 700 boxes, the next year we may make 350. We don't know, so we just kind of, let the tobacco do its thing and we make what we can make, and that's what it is.
Wow. So how often do you leave Nicaragua? I mean, is that pretty much where you stay all the time unless there's a trade show or an event? I mean, what's it like in Nicaragua? I mean, to live there for years, man, it looks so beautiful down there. It looks so relaxing. I mean, is it a totally different state of mind?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's totally chilled out, relaxed. I mean, it's what you imagine Latin America to be. I love it down here. I stay down here as much as I can. And,
You don't want to leave.
in the early days, with any cigar brand, you got to be out there, you got to be hitting it on the road all the time. So I used to be on the road constantly. Whereas now it's kind of tapered back a little bit over the last couple of years, because as the brand grows, as the factory grows, it's more important for me to be here in Nicaragua with the factory and overseeing production. But I would say, if it wasn't for COVID, I would right around March, April, normally I would start hitting the road, visiting the different territories with our sales reps and, doing events, visiting shops, obviously the trade shows. So yeah, it's still quite a bit of travel for sure.
Well, whenever our shop gets moved, I'm going to send him your information because I'd love to see your cigars at our local shop here.
Yeah, definitely.
And
we have a great Texas connection. Speaking of travel, when we first started in 2013, I was literally just like a vacuum cleaner salesman, knocking on shops' doors, like, please try my cigar, please try my cigar. And, Texas was where I was from. So it was kind of the first place that we started. And, we've just always had a great warm reception from Texas, and the retailers and the consumers there are awesome.
Oh yeah. And I had someone ask me not long ago, why is there so many cigar manufacturers out of Texas?
It's true. I don't know, but there definitely is.
Well, my answer was taxes. Texas is pretty good on taxes.
It's true.
You don't want to be opening up a cigar manufacturer, in New York or California.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
So, well, that's awesome, man. Well, that's all I have for you, man. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Before we go, if you don't mind, tell everybody where they can find you guys, like on social media. Yeah,
definitely. We're a Black Label Trading Company, Blackwork Studios on Facebook, Instagram. We're on both of those as well. And you can also check out our website, which is ovejanegracigars.com. And you get lots of info on there. Kind of read over the different brands, what we got going on. We also have a lot of merchandise on there as well. So go check it out.
Awesome, man. Hey, before I let you go, I haven't smoked the whole line, of course, because it's a limited. But if there's one cigar you make that you think is like, I got to try, which one is it?
For Black Label, I would say the Bishop's Blend.
Okay, I have not had that one.
For Blackwork Studios, the Green Hornet.
Green Hornet. I can remember that. Yep. All right, brother. I'll be looking for both of those. And, man, I hope everything stays good for you guys. And if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out at any time, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, James. Hey, guys. Thanks for hanging through the interview. Hope you enjoyed James Brown. Always a pleasure. Love his cigars, and got to check them out. If you haven't, it's the Black Label Trading Company. Great line. Yes. You know, the one I haven't tried that he mentioned was like the Killer Bees. Yeah. Have you had those? I've been wanting to try those. Me too. I haven't seen them.
I seen an ad in Cigar International. They had some of them in there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try. Buy some. Why?
I will not buy cigars from the devil.
I hear you. All right, sir.
I'm just saying.
The demon said he wanted something from the devil.
I'm not ordering from Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
So, anyway. Hey, let's get to the Moose Mountain Goods giveaway. Do you know the name?
Yes.
All right, let's spin the wheel. Now, what's the name?
Tedrick Caldwell.
Wow, impressive.
See? You hear that enunciation?
I did.
Caldwell.
Congratulations, Tedrick. So, here's how he won.
Yes.
He registered.
Hey, easy.
That's all you do.
Yep.
So, if you haven't registered, you're missing out on an opportunity for our giveaways.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And so, we're working on something new as a new idea for the giveaways. So I can't tell you that yet.
Yes.
I've been working with the producer on that.
The producer.
And so anyway, we've been talking some different ideas. So we're probably going to be shifting gears on that giveaway here pretty quick.
All right.
Anyway, Tedrick, congratulations.
Yes.
When you respond by 1800 next Sunday, you've got to send an email, and in the subject line, it just says Cigar Talk winner. And then in the body, put your name, address and whether you want your beans ground or whole bean.
Yes.
And we'll get that sent out to you ASAP. So anyway, I wanted to talk a minute about, because, you know, when my friend Tim came down, he's a pretty new cigar smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he got a jet lighter.
Okay.
And he was saying that he was having trouble filling it because it was only filling up halfway.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know what the issue is.
Yes, I do.
So, but for a lot of new cigar smokers, they might not know. You got to take
A pen, something.
Usually,
yeah.
I like the little eyeglass wrenches, or not wrenches, but screwdrivers, and they'll fit down in there. But there's where you put the fuel in. If you press that down instead of filling it, it will bleed out air, and you'll hear the air come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then once all the air comes out, you let up, and then you do it again. And then you do it again until all the air is out. And then you take the butane and fill it up. Make sure you're using quality butane.
Yes.
You know,
Not dog rocket.
yeah, not dog rocket fuel. So, but anyway, you know, I really like the Vector fuel.
Almost definitely.
I really like the Zycar fuel. And I know you like the Zycar jet fuel.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm my judgment's still out on that fluid.
You are?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I know it's good stuff. I just don't know if that it's worth the price increase. I mean, just because it burns hotter,
Cleaner.
bigger, I don't know that it's cleaner.
I do.
You
It
don't,
looks cleaner to me.
You are no scientist. It looks cleaner.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
It looks cleaner.
My perception. I'm dealing with my stuff. It's my perception. Now you gave me a dog rocket. I don't want to hear nothing you have to say.
I'm just telling you, I don't know that it's worth the value.
Okay.
You know, I'm a value-oriented guy.
Yeah.
Everything.
We are working men.
Right. We're the work class.
Yeah, you want the money that you. If I'm gonna spend it, I want to spend it on something that's going to be great and
Right.
good. I'm not trying to waste it, and that's the way I feel about that rocket fuel. I do. The jet fuel, as you want to call it.
You feel like it's a value.
I do.
Okay.
To me,
that works.
those two words to me.
I think the Vector beats it
Okay.
because, one, it's cheaper. Two, it's filtered, I want to say 14 times.
And give us number 3.
Give us number 3 what?
Yeah, because you said so.
Bingo.
See? He drops the mic for real.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Next week, we've got Coco. You might know her on Instagram as the Cigar Madam. Great interview with her this week. That'll be next week on the show, so you're not going to want to miss it. She's rocking and rolling.
Most definitely.
I mean,
growing, man.
Growing. Wow.
Growing.
Hit 10,000 recently. And she is putting together some good content.
Yes.
She does a lot of just great work. And, you know, what I liked about after I talked with her was you could tell she's a good person for the cigar community.
Oh, yes. Oh,
you know what I
yes.
mean?
We need those ambassadors, man.
Just legitimate, real, just down to earth.
The way I don't know how to say, but the way we are portrayed everywhere else, everybody in the cigar community, we have a negative connotation on us. So those that can come in and make beauty out of it, to bring positive to it, that's what we need.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's
Those that we
exactly
need.
that's exactly what I do.
Did he really say that? Did he really say that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I spread love throughout this community.
That's what that dog rocket was. Love.
Hey, now
Dude,
wait
you're
a
not
minute.
gonna hear
Wait a
the
minute.
end of this,
Wait
man.
a minute. Wait a minute. So the dog rocket wasn't for you.
Then how did it wind up with me?
No. Listen. The love of the dog rocket was not for you. That love was for me.
You know what? You can put a dress on a turd. It's still what it is, and that's what you gave me, man.
No.
I'm not gonna forget that.
I understand that. I'm
And
just
you did it
saying,
purposely.
Yeah,
Purposely.
because the love.
Purposely. There's no love in that.
Yeah, I needed that love.
I'm gonna let you know there was no love in that at all.
Yes, there was.
None.
It was loving myself.
Yeah, true. True.
Now we're on the same page.
TP for your bunk hole.
Cornholio. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the show this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be coming to you next week. And until next time,
Keep smoking.